Sorry, my video got cut off there, but um, what I was trying to say is that with the law of attraction, it's really kind of like a pseudoscience. There's not really anything that supports it. Um, oh, I was talking about the iceberg. So yeah, so basically your mindset is part of this big iceberg, and really the only point of the iceberg is to get you to take action up here. So if you're not able to take action, you really need to focus on the bottom of the iceberg here, which is a lot of it is mindset. And one thing we don't want to do, which I think is very bad for achieving success, is to focus on like building a positive mindset, but then nothing comes of it. You see, really the only point of your mindset is to make sure that you can get productive and efficient work done. Valuable work, like you're providing value to yourself and to other people through the work that you do. And hopefully you're able to get more and more work done and work that is more and more valuable to yourself and other people. And that's really the entire point of your mindset, is to get you to that point where you can take the action that you need to in order to be able to achieve your goals and help other people. And a lot of times what happens when we get into a state of learning is we get into kind of a pseudo work is what I like to call it. And this is when it really feels like we're doing work, but we're not really getting ahead. And so what happens a lot of times is we just keep learning and learning and learning, and we think, what's the first step to achievement? Well, I have to learn a lot of stuff. And that's true, you do have to learn a lot of stuff. But what happens is once you learn something, instead of applying it, you just go and learn something else. So you just keep learning and learning and learning, and you get stuck in kind of a learning loop where you're like, oh, I don't know enough, or I need to learn more about this, or I really want to learn more about this. I want to learn more about copywriting or marketing or business or finance. Whatever things you're trying to learn about, you just keep looping it around and keep learning, but you're never actually doing anything. So it's great to have knowledge, but knowledge is not power. If you don't do anything with the knowledge, it's worthless. If you're not applying that knowledge, applied knowledge is power. I think they should really add that word to that, because knowledge is not power. If you've got like a big book that had all the knowledge in the world and it was locked in a safe, so nobody, or maybe you have one guy and one book, and the book has all the knowledge in the world, and you have one guy in there and all he does is read the book all day long, but he's never allowed out. People feed him, he can go to the bathroom, he can live in there, but he can never get out, he can never talk to anybody. What's the point of all that knowledge? Unless you're able to do something with that knowledge, unless you're able to apply knowledge, there's really no point in having any knowledge at all if you're not applying it. So basically, I just wanted to warn you guys, this is something to look out for. I got stuck in this, and I still get stuck in this many, many times. Is like a learning loop, which is where you think you need to learn more before you can do the thing. And then you just keep learning and learning and learning. And it feels like you're making progress, but when you look at it, you're actually not moving forwards anywhere. You're just learning more and more and more and more and more without ever actually taking any action and without ever actually getting anything done. And it's kind of a pseudo form of work where it feels good. It makes you feel good like you're getting something accomplished, but you're actually not getting anything done. And so just be aware of that. And when you are learning too long and not getting things done, just be aware of what you're doing, and you can be like, okay, I need to stop. I need to pick a plan and move towards it. Because a lot of times what I've found is if you learn too much, sometimes there's really no right decision, and that's just something you have to come to terms with. Especially in the world of business, um, there's not always a right decision. If you're like deciding between two different things, one might be a little better, one might be a little worse, but a lot of times it's just kind of, you just got to pick something and go with it. And I think it's more important to just, once you are like 80 to 90% sure that you're there, you just got to make the decision and then you move on, because you can't second guess yourself, and you can't wait until you have 100% information, because if you do, you're never going to be able to make that decision. So what happens is if you try to learn enough in order to make a 100% decision, you keep learning and learning and learning, and because there's not really a right decision, what happens is you read different people's opinions, you learn about the other side of arguments, and then you can't make a decision because you have too much information that you can see like all perspectives on the problem, but you have so many different perspectives and ideas, you don't have like one path to follow. And I think it's really important, when you get in that situation, just pick the one that you feel most comfortable with and that you think is the best course of action, and just go with that. Block out everything else, and just go towards that one. And this is also another problem I had when listening like to podcasts. I love to listen to podcasts, but I listen to them to more as entertainment now, even if they're like nonfiction, like a business related or entrepreneur related or marketing or whatever they are. I take it with a grain of salt, because if you listen to like 4 or 5 different people say all on marketing, well, then when you actually have to say you're like trying to launch a new product, you can take little bits and pieces, but a lot of times what happens is you're like, well, this person said to do this, and this person said don't do this, and this person said do, a whole bunch of this, and this person said never do that thing. And so you really get like paralysis analysis, or analysis paralysis, where you have so many different competing viewpoints, you can't make a decision because you have too much information in your head, and they're all kind of competing against each other. It makes it very difficult to make a decision because there truly is no right decision. They're just different viewpoints from different sides. And so you just have to realize that, make the decision you're most comfortable with and stick with it. Don't look back. Don't start going back to that other person to see what they're saying about it. Just go full force into it. If you make the decision, that you're comfortable with it, just go ahead and move forward. Don't second guess yourself. And so back to the title of this video, does the law of attraction work? No, it doesn't really work. I think it really is really important to build a solid mindset. I think that's, one of the most important steps in achieving success. But if you don't do anything with that mindset, like I said, there's no point in having it. It'd be the same exact thing as if that guy was locked in that vault with a book. Maybe that book was how to develop the best mindset in the world. Like this guy, would be sharp as steel, would be able to endure anything, make it through anything, conquer the world, but he's not able to take any action because he can't talk to anybody, he can't do anything, he's locked in that room. And so that's the same way it works in real life with your mindset. If you have, if you like follow the law of attraction, you're wishing for all these things, maybe you're even capable of achieving them. If you don't take any steps to get there, well, how are you ever going to get anything? It's like just saying like, oh, I wish to get, in really good shape by just, I'll hope that it happens. And, I really believe that it'll happen. But if you don't go to the gym and start, doing resistance training and cardio training, you're not going to achieve any results. I mean, that's just how it is. So no, I don't really think that the law of attraction works. I think it's good to maybe help build your mindset. If it helps you to build your mindset, that's great. But just don't leave out the other half of it, which is, if it's not helping you to get the work done, get rid of it, because it's not a positive part of your mindset if it's not helping you to get the work done. And so that's all I've got for today, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Stay tuned for tomorrow, and I'll put out another video for you. And that's all. Have a great day.